What's up guys? Today's video is how to do the pirouette. I'm actually going to use the GoPro today because dance tricks require a little bit more speed and I don't have someone to follow me. It just looks better that way. Anyway, I also got my car back. Okay, so let's start off with foot position. So oftentimes people are just a little bit worried about taking that other foot off the board or just being one-footed. Well, funny thing is you're actually on one foot many times when you are pushing. So I like to make sure my foot is pretty close to the front, right about here. This is a pretty good spot. And then I keep it half cocked like this, which allows me to initiate that turn. Also, when I am turning, I'm going to take my body, hold my camera to show this. I'm going to take my body, right, and I'm going to look back at that back bolt, right there. And as I'm looking at that back bolt, I'm going to just find it with my other foot. And that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to look like this. There we go. All right, let's go over that one more time. I have my feet pretty much spaced out, pretty solid. Still in between the bolts, but yeah. And then front foot really in the front, not really so in the middle. Also, when I am practicing this, when I'm first learning it, I have seen a bunch of people say flip the board over and then do it that way. However, the boards usually have a concave, which gives you a slightly different feel. And when you're trying to learn a trick, it's important for it to feel similar. That's what's going to give you the most comfort and confidence going into it. So front foot right about there. To compensate for that, what I'll do is I'll take the board and I'll shove it over by the rocks or shove it over by the grass. All right, over here I'm not going anywhere. I can keep my front foot right over there. I like to do it on a surface that I'm not going to move on when I'm just learning it. Because then I can still feel the concave of the board. I can still feel the board turn as I pivot and as I turn my body around. I can know and expect what the board is going to do. So when you're first starting to learn it, you can practice it in the grass with the board upright. So front foot turns slightly crooked, but still more towards the front of the board, but also in the center. Back foot just in front of the bolts is good. And then as I am pushing and getting ready, I like to take a nice little squat with my front leg, look back and spot my landing. So I'm going to look back over there at my bolt. So squat, front leg, look back, spot my landing. And then I'm going to power up with my shoulders and catch those bolts with my back foot, which is my left foot. So it's gonna look like this. There we go. All right, after I take that little squat and as I'm starting to power up my shoulders to go in that motion, when I do my little jump, turn, pirouette motion, I'm gonna pop myself onto my toe. So really just like the ball of my foot, but a little bit past that, really on the toe. As I squatted down like this and then powered through the turn, I'm kind of picking myself up almost like a jump, but you're still keeping your toe on the board. That kind of just keeps you in contact with the board. You're not losing it, you're sticking with it. So spot the landing, kept it. So next up is going to be practicing the trick. I like to say practice the trick in a line. The reason I say that is if you just go and continuously do the same motion over and over and over and over and over, you're gonna get bored. You may not get all the practice that you need, and you may stop too soon before you've really generalized the trick. So put it into a line. Then you're working on the line, not necessarily working on practicing the trick. Put the trick early on, and maybe you have to do a banger at the end. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions. It's a pretty easy trick. Just don't overcomplicate it. You're used to pushing on one foot in the front. Keep that foot in that position there. Squat down. Get your front foot cocked. When you go to pop up and spin, make sure you spot your landing. I like to use the back bolts as a reference, and then just find that spot with your back foot when you complete your rotation. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and catch you in the next video. Bye. Lost my shoe.